Hello festival goers of the internet! I'm the Festival Finesser, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a lineup review for Sunset Music Festival 2021. We're going to be going through all the artists, giving a quick description of what you guys can expect with those artists, some of my personal recommendations and favorite artists, and we're even going to be taking a look back at the 2020 lineup and comparing what artists were booked for 2020 that are not playing in 2021, and what artists are new additions for this year's lineup. So we're going to be going into all those details after the intro. Let's run it.
Can I get a year?
I'm the Festival Finesser.
Florida Finesse Gang, can I get a yer? What is good, everybody? Finesse Gang, thank you for tuning back into another video. New subscribers, new viewers, welcome. I'm the Festival Finesser. This is my channel, a channel that revolves around music festivals and live music going experiences with a focus and concentration on dubstep and rhythm. If you are not following me at a festival day by day when they come back, you are probably following me at a show in New York, New Jersey, Philly when they come back. And if you're not following me at a festival or show when they come back, you are probably sitting with me here at this desk getting life hacks, trick tips, festival reviews, lineup reviews, EDM news, controversial debates, and any other words of advice I can give to you guys to make sure you can have the best festival going experience possible. So in my opinion, guys, it's looking like Sunset is going to be one of the first big festivals to happen in 2021, and I say that for a few reasons. One, I'm seeing more states slowly open up, easing up on their COVID policies, allowing larger capacities to gather in restaurants, bars, businesses, whatever. Even in New Jersey, we are legally allowed to have musical gatherings with a limited capacity. Right now, we just have nowhere to have them. I feel like if things keep heading in this direction, soon Florida is not going to be the only state that can legally have massive gatherings and parties. Secondly, the event is happening in 2 months, and it's happening in Florida. And as you guys probably know, Florida has been wide open for months, not enforcing masks, not enforcing social distancing, allowing musical gatherings to happen, club events, whatever it may be. Florida has been wildin', and I just find it very hard to believe that the governor of Florida is all of a sudden going to have a change of heart and flip the script and be like, yeah, I'm actually going to have to cancel Sunset Music Festival and all other large gatherings because we have actually been wildin' out a little too hard, and now we have a bigger problem than we started with. So everybody's going to have to go on lockdown, and we'll see what happens in the future. You know, I feel like the odds of that happening are very slim based on all of the fucks that Florida seems to have to give, which is none. They had the Super Bowl there, they had spring break there still, they had Miami Music Week is still happening there, I'm pretty sure. The Steve Aoki after party for the Super Bowl, all these rappers coming out to play. Like, Florida is lit right now, and like, it's definitely a different lifestyle over there. It's definitely a different style of living. And it's almost like going on a COVID vacation. Like, you can go to this state and forget about COVID and not wear a mask and go out and party and gather and do all this stuff you used to do in your old kind of lifestyle before 2020. And with that being said, guys, I do want to give you guys a little disclaimer and remind you guys that just because this festival is happening does not mean it's safe. Just because it's happening in Florida and is legal does not mean it's safe. And just because I'm making this video does not mean I'm encouraging you guys to go. I'm simply doing what I've been doing on the channel, sharing my opinions and thoughts on a publicly made announcement about a music festival or a lineup. However, if you do plan on going and do feel comfortable going, I still highly encourage you to wear a mask, be safe, be smart, be respectful of those around you. And if you're someone who's not going to be going because you feel it's unsafe or irresponsible or you're just uncomfortable, please do not bash those who want to go or who are attending, because that is 2020 energy and we are all sick and tired of that shit, right? But before we get into the 2021 lineup, let's look at some of these artists from 2020 who we are not going to be seeing in 2021. So as you guys can see here, I have both lineups side by side, 2021 on the left, 2020 on the right. All the artists that are in red are artists that were not booked for 2021. All the artists that are in white are artists that were booked for 2020 and 2021. And all the artists that are in green are artists that were not booked for 2020 but are new additions for 2021. So dubstep definitely took a hit from 2020 because we lost Blunts and Blondes, Snails, Epdic, Sudden Death, and we also lost Dom Dalla and Jay Wara. There was supposed to be a Snails back-to-back 12th Planet set, but because Snails is not going to be attending in 2021 for whatever reason, 12th Planet is getting a solo set for 2021. Also added for 2021, we have Burns, Hunter Reed, Enzo, Jack Beats, who is going back-to-back with Sage Armstrong. Originally, Sage Armstrong was supposed to be going back-to-back with Jay Wara, but he is not being booked for 2021 for whatever reason. And getting into the dubstep bookings for 2021, we have Midnight Tea, which is a big plus, and we have Riot 10 as well. So we definitely lost more dubstep in 2020 than gained for 2021. But let's take a look at this lineup and see what kind of dubstep acts we have for 2021. So as I mentioned, guys, this festival is taking place May 29th and 30th in Tampa, Florida at Raymond James Stadium in the North Lot. So kicking off the lineup, we have an OG, 12th Planet, not much needs to be said about him, heavy dubstep disciple, that's it. AC Slander, definitely going to give you some house vibes, definitely an OG, well respected in the house game. Adventure Club, I've been seeing them on a lot of lineups recently, and I can never really kind of figure out if they are melodic still or if they have kind of evolved into a heavier sound. So hopefully we can figure that out this festival season. Next up, we have Baldy, who is going to give you some more experimental kind of freeform sounds, definitely a more relaxed, laid-back set. Then we have Benson, who I'm not too familiar with, or Burns for that matter, but Champagne Drip I do know of, and he is going to give you some real kind of liquidy, kind of like Liquid Stranger kind of vibes, deep, dark, wubs, wook bass, for a lack of a better term. Next, we have Chris Lorenzo, back-to-back Wax Motif, and this is going to be a crazy house back-to-back. Wax Motif is one of my favorite house producers, and Chris Lorenzo is an OG in the house game, so definitely check that out if you like house music. Next up, we have Conrank, who also kind of falls into that, like, experimental freeform bass. I feel like he might have a little bit more of a wonky sound. The wook bass experimental freeform is not really my genre of expertise. I do like it, I do fuck with it, but I am not in it like I am with dubstep and rhythm. Next, we have Cut Snake back-to-back Wongo. Haven't heard of any of them, but Wongo is a cool-ass name. I fuck with that name for whatever reason. So next up, we have Decadon, who I've seen once live, actually, and it was a really cool set. He incorporated live guitar, electric guitar into his set, which is really cool. And he definitely kind of has like some rock influences, kind of like Keizo, but not as heavy. But he is a very talented musician, producer, and DJ. Next, we have Destructor, bringing some more house vibes to the lineup. And he is definitely an OG, very well respected. Then we have Doc Martin, who I'm not too familiar with. Drezzo, another one of my favorite house producers, very deep and dark, just kind of house. Wouldn't really call it techno, but it's kind of like a res house. Like if you combined house music and res, that's Drezzo. Next we have Essex, who is definitely kind of falls into that wook-based category, experimental, freeform kind of sounds. Then we have Green Velvet, a house god. I don't know if he's techno, honestly. I know he's house, definitely not dubstep, and definitely a legend. So next we have Hunter Reed. I don't know anything about, or Enzo for that matter. Jack Beats, back-to-back Sage Armstrong. I've heard of Jack Beats, I feel like, but I don't know too much about Sage Armstrong, but I'm going to imagine that's going to be some housey shit, possibly some trap. You know, you don't see too much trap on lineups nowadays, honestly. It seems like house, dubstep, and like freeform experimental bass are the three main genres on lineups these days. Next we have Kaiwachi, definitely bringing some more heavy vibes to this lineup. He's going to give you some more heavy dubstep kind of energy. Next we have Kayvon, and I feel like I saw this set at Hijinks, but I cannot vividly remember it. I'm not sure if it's like housey or like some more feel-good kind of like funky grizz, or if it's more like, you know, some just typical house. I really don't remember, but I keep seeing that name a lot, so might be something I should check out and try and figure out. Then we have Company, another one of my favorites. Very heavy, very crunchy sound, and always has good energy for his sets. Next we have Kyle Kinch, not familiar with. I think that's a house artist. Then we have Lizzie Jane, who I'm pretty sure reps Wakan. She's definitely going to have more of a chilled out, relaxed, kind of get heavy at sometimes, but, you know, definitely is not what I consider a dubstep DJ. Then we have LS Dream, who kind of falls into that same spacey, freeform experimental category. Definitely will get real weird and kind of vibey almost. Then we have Lucy also in that same category of like space-based, freeform experimental, definitely more chill, relaxed. And again, all these artists can get heavy. It's not chill all the time, but it's a different kind of heavy. It's more of a grime, if that makes sense, like grimy heavy, not like mosh pit heavy. Different kind of energies, you know what I'm saying? Damn, I just realized I missed an artist on here. Jaina. Don't want to skip anybody on here. We show love to everybody on these lineups, even if we don't know them. Next up, we have Mala, a very popular house producer nowadays, and he has a nice underground house vibe, very kind of like dark vibes, I feel like, but just a general all-around good house producer. Then we have Midnight Tea, giving you that crunchy mosh pit dubstep kind of energy. Imagine a company back-to-back Midnight Tea back-to-back. That would be crazy, just because their sounds are so complementary. They're both very crunchy and aggressive and like, you know, like bone crunching. You know what I'm saying? They're just hard-hitting sounds. So Midnight Tea definitely give you a lot of energy. Definitely giving you those dubstep vibes that we all know and love on this channel, right? Next up, we have Nightmare, another popular artist and a big name, a very well-rounded and diverse DJ, giving you lots of, lots of everything, honestly. Lots of variety in his sets. He's got dubstep, trap, might even get a little bouncy, and, just feel good, like euphoric, kind of like heavenly trap kind of vibes. Then we have Nitty Gritty back-to-back Wookie. That just sounds like a whole entire dance party, bro. That just sounds like it's going to be mad jumpy and like breakbeat and just different, honestly. Different and fun. Then we have Party Favor, who is kind of an OG. I feel like this is more trap, but I never really know because I feel like artists like this have been around for so long, and I've been seeing them on lineups for so long, and they kind of evolve. Like Adventure Club, I know Adventure Club as like a melodic artist, but I've seen them throw the fuck down in certain environments. So it's all about where they're playing, who they're playing for, and things like that. Those are all things you gotta take into consideration as an artist and as someone in the crowd. Next up, we have Paz, who I'm not too familiar with. PD Clicks back-to-back Tombs as well, I'm not too familiar with. Rez, bro, I haven't seen Rez on a lineup in a while, and I would love to see a Rez set, bro. Just chilling, vibing, and just getting lost and hypnotized, bro. Because that's literally what Rez does. You just get lost and hypnotized, and she literally has you under a spell for an hour or however long she is performing, bro. I love Rez sets. And then we have Riot 10, who is going to bring more dubstep and heavy energy to the stage and this lineup. Definitely a high energy DJ, and you're going to get a lot of dubstep, but also some trap. His sets do kind of have a little bit of variety, and it's not just going to be all dubstep the whole entire time. Next, we have Said the Sky, who is going to give you some more uplifting, feelsy kind of stuff. Possibly that cry band kind of vibe. Same thing with Seven Lions, going to give you a more uplifting, euphoric kind of vibe. But Seven Lions can get heavy, can get bouncy. So Seven Lions definitely well-rounded. Same can be said about Said the Sky. I'm not too familiar with either of these DJs. I used to like Seven Lions a lot back in the day. But as he has evolved and progressed, it seems like he is taking the more melodic route and getting softer. And I like heavy and aggressive and energetic. So we just don't mesh, But continuing on here, we have Sendin back-to-back Kendall. Not too familiar with those artists. I'm going to guess that they are house, because that's the only you ever heard of a trap back-to-back? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's usually house artists go back-to-back, or dubstep artists go back-to-back, or rhythm artists go back-to-back. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you don't see too many, like, Wook artists back-to-backs, or, like, you know what I'm saying? Think about that. And then we have Slander, very complimentary to Nightmare. If you guys are familiar with Nightmare, Slander definitely is, I feel like, a little heavier than Nightmare, but also is going to give you a mix of, heavy and feelsy. They also kind of have that cry bang vibe, and that's why I don't love them as much as I used to, because they used to be all heavy, all energy, and then they started getting into, like, the feelsy, heavenly trap kind of vibes, that euphoric, melodic dubstep. And like I said, that's just not my kind of vibe. I need that heavy dubstep mosh pit energy. Got me wanting to do a backflip and punch somebody in the face, but I'm not gonna, because we don't do that in the mosh pit. But, I need that kind of energy the whole entire set. So next on here we have Softest Heart, who I'm not too familiar with. And then we have Sullivan King, who doesn't need too much introduction. Heavy, metal-esque, a lot of rock influence. Possibly gonna play the guitar live and incorporate that. Big metal mosh pits, bro. Every time Sullivan King has a mosh pit, bro, it's like a metal mosh pit, and it is fucking huge, and everyone is just fucking circle pitting, and it's fucking madness. And then getting down to the bottom here, we have Swarm, who I'm not too familiar with. Taki, New Light, back-to-back Shift Key. I'm not sure who that is. Never heard of either of those guys. Trivecta, I'm pretty sure is a dubstep artist. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on... I'm thinking of Terravita. I'm not too sure on who Trivecta is. Next up, we have Troy Boy, who is definitely a unique artist on this lineup, because I can't really identify what genre he falls into. I feel like he has some hip-hop influences, and his sets are definitely groovy from what I've seen, but his production and his sets are definitely two different realms. So you never know what you're going to get with Troy Boy, really. And he definitely has some singles, but he's not really, like... I feel like he's not very, like, popular, like, on the charts or anything. He's just, like, kind of an OG. I could only be saying that because I'm mainly into the dubstep world, but I have seen Troy Boy live at Moonrise, and I was definitely like, wow, that's a different set. This ain't even EDM. That's what I was thinking in my head. Following Troy Boy, we have Taboo, who I feel like is also going to give you some experimental Wook kind of vibes, but I could be totally wrong. He could be a house artist. I've seen that name a bunch of times, never got to see him, never really checked out his music, so... Not too sure about Taboo, but one day we will find out. Hopefully in 2021 at these festivals we attend, hopefully. Next we have Tynan, who is definitely, actually, I don't even know. I don't know if I'd call him a dubstep producer. He's definitely a bass producer, but I don't know if he's like the experimental kind. I don't know if he's, he definitely kind of falls into that in-between gray area and just kind of like experimental or freeform, I guess. But he has a bunch of songs that I like, and I definitely fuck with him. He's got Excision support, and Excision backs him as a spotlight artist, so definitely a talented producer, and definitely going to be a cool set. Next, we have Valentino Khan, who is definitely an OG and one of my favorite kind of founding artists for me that kind of got me into EDM. He was one of my favorites growing up and kind of getting into the scene, going to festivals, always just jumping up and down, going crazy, because that's what his sets were at the time. They were high energy. I haven't seen one in a long time, but I feel like he would also give you that high energy kind of like festival vibes, just always jumping and, not really chill. Definitely, I feel like he would give you some high energy and some really cool tunes. Coming to the end here, we have Vampa, who is going to give you some more wooked out vibes, kind of some more wonky stuff, I feel like, more chill, but can get heavy at times. Definitely more of like a grimy artist, I would say, at times. Then we have FINESSE, who I'm not too familiar with. I think she is a house artist. Then we have Wooly, one of my favorites. Definitely, it's that you should check out if you like dubstep. I feel like everybody has seen Wooly, bro. Wooly is such a good DJ, hella heavy, and just knows how to bring that energy, but also, he also kind of falls into like, a diverse DJ, because he's not just all dubstep all the time. He's got that side trance kind of thing going, so his sets definitely kind of take you on a musical ride and journey as well. So last but not least, we have the Don Zomboy, and the things I would do for a Zomboy set right now, bro. I feel like that's what I need in my life right now, a good classic Zomboy set, just no rhythm, and just nice, generic, clean dubstep, because the rhythm scene is just getting so dramatic, and it's just getting really annoying, all the drama that comes and associated with liking rhythm and being in the rhythm scene. And like, I'm honestly just about to become a house DJ, guys, like, honestly. So that concludes this lineup, guys, and this lineup is actually pretty diverse. If I was gonna highlight it, my artists would pretty much be, you guys could probably take some guesses: 12th Planet, Adventure Club, Champagne Drip, Wax Motif. I would probably see him because I fuck with him heavy. Destructo, Drezzo. Who else we got on here? Kaiwachi, Company, LS Dream, Mala, Lucy, Lizzie Jane, possibly, if depending on the conflicts, Nightmare, I'll definitely check out. Riot 10, Rez, Seven Lions, possibly. Slander, most likely. Sullivan King, definitely. And then definitely Wooly, definitely Zomboy, and then kind of skipping around here, Valentino Khan, depending on conflicts, and even Tynan, depending on conflicts. So those are my highlights. Those are my thoughts. If you guys are going to this festival, let me know if you guys have any tips to share. I'm probably not going to be going to this event. It's a little too soon, and between flights and hotels and COVID, vaccines, all this stuff, traveling, it's going to be a little hectic and stressful. I do not know if the FINESSE will be able to commence, but I do have some things up my sleeve for this season. I already have Lost Lands tickets. I already have Big Dub tickets. Hoping to go to Imagine possibly. And then we always have Izu, Moonrise, So I want to go to some different festivals this year. I want to try to hit Bisco. But, this year's going to be different and weird because I don't have a job still. So I got to find a job first. And then I got to find a job, hopefully, that can give me, nice, flexible schedules. But beggars can't be choosers, but enough about me and my personal life and my problems. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Let me know if you have any thoughts, any experiences you want to share about Sunset in the comments, any tips, advice, things to look out for or note from first-hand experience. Let me know in the comments. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you for more lineup reviews to come. Peace out.